around in his life.
I take him close to Khabib. I will submit him closer to Khabib. Me personally, I would ask him like, what's your favorite submission? Whatever, I don't know. Dark show. I'm gonna submit you with that.
I think Khabib doesn't like that idea.
I always looking for finish. I told you guys, I not just talk. Oh, fight week. Oh, my camp. Oh, media. I told. If it's my opponent give me small chance, I will close the night.
And nobody would argue with that. That would be a huge fight. Everybody would get excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they make that fight happen.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't have any say.
The entire MMA world is holding its breath, waiting for the official announcement of a clash between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. Just the thought of these two titans going head-to-head is enough to send fans' heart rates through the roof.
The biggest thing Ilia Topuria does very well is that he knows where he's dangerous and he puts himself there, and he's willing to put himself in the fire to get to where he needs to land a knockout shot.
He's the world champion in the lightweight division. I want to move up the lightweight division, and I wanna face him in the future.
When I think of like a scary opponent, what makes me go, ooh, that's Ilia. Ilia gives me that he could put your lights out, change life.
Despite everything Islam has proven inside the UFC octagon throughout his career, many are already painting Ilia as the man who will bring an end to the Dagestani era. But sorry to disappoint fight fans, this showdown won't even be close. Why not? Get comfortable, because right now we're diving deep into the details of this potential war, breaking down 5 clever reasons why Islam Makhachev will destroy Ilia Topuria.
Khabib used to take people in his shoulder, take them down and talk to Dana. I would do it to Khabib. Like, I will take him, bah.
And then talk to Khabib.
Talk to Khabib. Khabib, I have to do it.
Reason number 1, ground game mastery. In this video, we'll keep it fair. No hype, just cold hard stats. Sure, Ilia Topuria talks a confident game, and yeah, Bryce Mitchell can vouch for how dangerous Ilia is on the ground. But let's flip the coin, shall we?
Absolutely incredible stat that is. Of all the thousands of people that have fought in the octagon and the amount of submission specialists that we have, Charles Oliveira owns the most submissions, which is an incredible feat.
Gaethje back to work on the leg kick, landed a right hand. Oh! Big knockdown with a right for Oliveira. Oh now trying to transition to the back.
This is good.
Gaethje's out.
You can't let him take his back. Oh, he's got the choke.
He's got the choke. Locked in.
It's over.
Fully locked in. It's over.
Oliveira's under the chin.
Oh my goodness.
Switches up the grip.
He's going to go to sleep.
Oh my
that
goodness.
Is going to do it.
This dude right
Who
here,
can
man.
Stop Charles Oliveira, 11 in a row, and still the best lightweight on planet Earth.
Tremendous.
Mixed martial arts at its finest. UFC 280 for 20% off today and tomorrow.
Oliveira takes it to the ground here. Now, Makhachev said he would take him down here. Not many people are willing to play this game with Charles Oliveira. Islam said he is not afraid. Islam stacking him. Got to make sure the hips are covered.
Charles Oliveira gets his hand off the top of the octagon and now taken down.
Nice step through there by Makhachev.
Makhachev keeping that elbow on the chin of Oliveira. Now tries to posture up. Charles swivels a hip. Look to land an up kick. Investment doesn't even begin to describe it when it comes to Makhachev's career and his involvement. Oh, another nice stick there by Makhachev early round 2.
Don't allow Makhachev to get close.
Charles trying to get his own takedown.
And as the fight goes longer, Oliveira will gain confidence, but Makhachev is a good striker. I know he's not known for it, but he has tremendous stand-up skills. I think he's just aware of the takedowns coming in his direction.
I think Oliveira would... Oh! Knockdown from Makhachev!
He's got the arm triangle.
But Islam's choke must be otherworldly. Yeah. It must be otherworldly.
To do that to Charles?
Not just that, like the moment he's passing, Charles is tapping.
Yeah.
Like his squeeze has got to be off the charts. I talked to DC about it, and I said, hey man, I go, his squeeze must, he goes, oh dope. I had him demonstrate a choke on me, and I thought it was gonna be fun. Like, show me how you do that. Show me how you do it. He goes, dude. When he grabbed a hold of me, I was like, oh, This guy's gonna choke me, and that's DC.
Islam Makhachev is an undisputed submission machine. Let's not forget, this Dagestani warrior once made a habit of testing black belts like it was his side gig, making them tap and question their life choices. If we're sticking strictly to the facts, Charles Oliveira holds the record for most submissions in UFC history, and even he couldn't handle Islam's relentless pressure on the mat.
Or do you see one of the greatest combination of wrestling and jiu-jitsu, sambo essentially, mixed together all in one, and you see that? Like, either way, it's a win-win.
With all due respect to Topuria, when it comes to ground game, he is not even in the same galaxy as Makhachev. Islam has made some of the lightweight division's best tap like amateurs. To deny Islam's dominance on the ground is just foolish. Right now, he's not only the best grappler in the UFC, he might just be the greatest ground specialist the promotion has ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, be careful what you wish for, right? If you're Ilia, I would, you got a lot of guys in your division, you still have to fight. And Ilia's getting to that point, right, where you're undefeated, you're getting a lot of hype, so now you're just starting to call out and, play that game of trying to be like the next McGregor. But you don't want to mess with Islam and them, because, like they said, it's different there.
Topuria's fans might argue, well, first you need to get the fight to the ground. And that's where we hit the most controversial turning point in this matchup and in this video. Reason number 2, wrestling prowess.
Because I really believe that I can beat the current champion, Islam. I really think that he's a great champion. You can't be a world champion by chance, you know, you have to do things great.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But I like the competition.
When we talk wrestling, you have to give credit where it's due. The Georgian wrestling school is one of the most respected on the planet. Georgian athletes consistently bring home gold from the Olympics and dominate international mats. Wrestling is more than just a sport in Georgia. It's woven into the very fabric of their culture and history. There's no point debating the greatness of Georgian wrestling. It's undeniable. But this video isn't about Georgia. There's another nation, another warrior whose bloodline is just as deeply tied to the mat.
When I was about to start fighting and when I started fighting, I said, man, when these Russian dudes from these regions start to come, it's going to be a problem. Because you know how good they were as wrestlers, right? You see him exceed all the, break through the glass ceiling. Everything that we had done and said, he has shattered them completely and taken this thing to a level that nobody was ever able to reach.
Enter Dagestan, a region that rivals any in the world when it comes to producing elite-level grapplers and Olympic-caliber wrestling legends. The mats of Dagestan are hallowed ground where champions are forged daily. Now, to keep the peace and dodge a flood of angry comments, let's call it even. Georgian and Dagestani wrestling schools are neck and neck in raw talent and tradition. But here's the twist. This isn't Georgia versus Dagestan. This is Topuria versus Makhachev. And that's where things get interesting. Ilia is a feared knockout artist, no question. One clean shot and it's lights out. Good night. He's shown solid takedown defense, no doubt. But now ask yourself this. What happens when the man shooting those takedowns is Islam Makhachev?
Now you know, Dana, now you know. Honestly, I'm very happy because now nobody can say something. I feel like #1 best fighter in the world right now.
We all remember the Makhachev versus Moicano fight. Renato made just one mistake, and that was all Islam needed. In a flash, Makhachev executed a takedown and dragged him into the deep waters of the ground game, where he quickly choked him out.
It just shows the strength, but yet the technique that Islam has. And that is why he's probably the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in all of the sport.
Now, let's rewind the clock a bit further to that bloody, brutal war with Dustin Poirier.
He should listen to his coaches and box like they're telling him to. Do that, Islam. Let's box.
This is not boxing, this is MMA, man.
Well, you're going to sleep like it's boxing.
We'll see, we'll see.
Nice knee there by Makhachev. Poirier resets. Nice stick and move by the champ and a counter right from Poirier.
Oh, good shots to the body. Beautiful shots to the body.
He switched the hips.
Oh, wow.
That was nasty. Oh, guillotine.
Looking for a darce.
Yeah, looking for a darce. Dustin's got to be careful here. Oh, that's tight.
Islam Makhachev with a submission in round 5. The throne remains in
5 rounds of all-out warfare, and in the final round, with everything on the line, Islam delivers a picture-perfect takedown, followed by a slick Darce choke to seal the deal. Still not seeing the pattern?
What did I think of the main event?
Yeah, the finish.
Incredible. I mean, I've been saying all week, you got 2 of the absolute best in the world in their prime facing off, and you know, when I went up into the octagon after, Khabib said, I told you he's the best in the world. And yeah, I mean, to beat Oliveira is one thing, to beat him the way he beat him is another, and as fast as he did it, he looked incredible tonight. You know, the big question going in tonight was how was he going to deal with the pressure? He dealt with it just fine.
Charles Oliveira dropped to the canvas, and instead of going for the ground and pound finish, Islam Makhachev did what only a cold-blooded grappling assassin would do. He instantly dragged Charles into the deep waters of Dagestani wrestling and ended it there. You'd have to be blind not to see the fundamental difference between Topuria and Makhachev. While Ilia's style is built on aggression, elite striking, and well-rounded skill, on the other side of the cage, we're dealing with a different beast. Islam's entire rhythm, his tempo, his fight IQ, they're all rooted in his overwhelming class advantage on the mat. Sure, he's dangerous on the feet, just ask anyone who stood across from him. But the real nightmare, the thing that keeps opponents up at night, is what happens once he gets his hands on you. When you fight Islam, the threat of the takedown never leaves the room. Whether he's winning, taking damage, or the pace is slowing, Makhachev always has the nuclear option. If things are going well, he wrestles. If he's taking shots on the feet, he switches gears and wrestles. If the fight's stalling, he changes the game by taking you down and dictating everything from there. No doubt Topuria's got solid wrestling, but it's not what sets him apart. It's not his edge. Now, we know some of you are already typing, but what about Merab versus Umar? Georgian wrestling beat Dagestani wrestling there, and for you, we've prepared our next point. Reason number 3, mentality and legacy.
About Islam, he
How about jacuzzi? You can come.
I was not there.
Come.
Let's be honest, in the eyes of the internet, the word jacuzzi has become some kind of meme-level counterspell against Dagestani wrestling. But let's take a step back and look at the fight, Merab versus Umar, from a neutral angle. Umar lost not because of skill, but because of inexperience. He looked sharp early, clearly taking the first rounds, but after round 3, he simply unraveled. He lost composure, lost momentum, and couldn't adjust on the fly.
It's the 3rd round that's the real close one, because I gave the first 2 rounds to Umar, and then you get into the 3rd, you're like, ooh, that's the one. That one's close. Because the 4th and the 5th were clearly Merab was coming on strong. Merab was like, it was astonishing, his endurance. Astonishing.
Now, credit where it's due, Merab Divalishvili is an absolute machine with the cardio, grit, and mental toughness to break opponents. He didn't just outwork Umar, he mentally shattered him. That takes a different kind of greatness, but here's the difference. Islam Makhachev isn't Umar Nurmagomedov.
I don't care if Islam decides that he doesn't want to fight me. I don't care. I said till you're gonna have to fight me. Okay. You say that you are the world champion, you're gonna keep dominating the division, all that. I'm here. You can't keep avoiding me all the time.
Ilia's been calling for Islam for a while now, and according to fans, analysts, and even Topuria himself, Islam is avoiding him out of fear.
What did Islam do in this fight and maybe his previous fight that you looked at and said that puts him number 1?
Yeah, I mean, Islam was willing to fight anybody. You know, he stayed active, and he went out tonight and performed the way a guy should on a short notice fight when you are the best in the world and you're the champion.
So did Islam Makhachev, to be fair. He wasn't bothered who it was. He said, listen, I'm the champion. I'm here to fight the best. He went out there. He beat Moicano, who was on an absolute roll, destroyed Benoit Saint-Denis, and I thought he'd give him a good run. Well, it turns out Islam Makhachev is just that guy.
But let's get real. Makhachev is not afraid of anyone. This is a guy who's willing to fight anyone, anywhere, under any conditions. He's not ducking Ilia, he's just operating on a whole different level.
Yeah, I can be 3 divisions also. Just give me the chance, that's it. I will fight with the Plessis. If they give me the chance, I will fight with him also. I swear, if Dana White send me contract, I will fight with him also.
His focus isn't on proving something in the moment, it's on building a legacy. Makhachev's mentality is the embodiment of a true dominant champion, one who doesn't fear the biggest, most dangerous names in the game. He's not here for clout, he's here to make history. For quite some time now, Islam has made it clear. His sights are set on the next weight class, on becoming a two-division champion. And let's be honest, he's earned that shot. Makhachev has already cleared out nearly the entire lightweight division. Meanwhile, Topuria's resume includes just two big names, Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Islam isn't avoiding Ilia, far from it. But from a legacy perspective, chasing a second belt is a far greater prize than defending his current one against a flashy name from a lower weight class. Let's be real, if Islam moves up and wins, he becomes a double champ if the UFC lets him keep his lightweight title, etching his name even deeper into the sport's history. But if he beats Topuria, as skilled as Ilia is, most fans and analysts will still chalk it up as another featherweight who dared to dream. We could go on all day about mindset and legacy, but since we've opened the door to weight classes, it's the perfect moment to roll into our fourth and crucial point.
Crazy as it sounds, I hope Ilia goes up to 55. I really do.
It's
Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, 45.
I'll take that.
Ilia goes up to 55. Fuck, I don't care if he only defended the title one time or didn't.
Agree.
Who cares?
You want Ilia to fight Makhachev?
Let's go.
Reason number 4, size and weight. Combat sports history is packed with stories of fighters moving up in weight. Some shocked the world with incredible wins. Others faced brutal, humbling defeats.
I remember when I came to the boxing gym, one of the first lessons which I should learn, it's like you should respect weight classes. You know, yeah, what it means.
No matter the sport, no matter how skilled you are, you can't ignore size. Ilia Topuria is a natural featherweight, that's just a fact. In the offseason, he walks around at 160 to 165 pounds, has solid reach and physically fits perfectly within the featherweight frame. But Islam Makhachev is a different kind of animal. Between fights, Makhachev walks around at 176 to 188 pounds. That's a massive frame for a lightweight. And if this clash with Topuria ever becomes reality, Ilia would be staring across the cage at a man who could be 15 to 20 pounds heavier on fight night. And it's not just weight, Islam is also taller, with a longer reach, giving him both vertical and horizontal advantages. And while those physical edges might not always decide a fight, in Makhachev's case, they're a weapon. He doesn't just have size, he knows exactly how to use it. Whether it's leverage in grappling, reach in striking, or pressure in the clinch, Islam turns every inch, every pound into a tactical edge. So, when you add it all up, the height, the weight, the reach, the fight IQ, you're looking at a matchup where Topuria would be battling uphill from the opening bell.
Islam Makhachev is gonna be new lightweight champion in Abu Dhabi. And Islam gonna beat all this guy who's gonna put in front of him. Doesn't matter who is next.
Reason number 5, fight IQ, experience, and versatility. Islam Makhachev is the reigning king of the toughest and most talent-stacked division in UFC history. His resume, a highlight reel of elite killers, and every one of them helped forge the champion we see today.
When you think about your future and your title reign, do you think you can accomplish that? Maybe double-digit title defenses, 10, 11, 12?
Why not? Just put new belt, new opponents. I will beat everyone. I am gonna beat all the records.
He stopped a prime Charles Oliveira and did it on the ground, beating the record-setting submission artist at his own game. He beat the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world twice, when Volkanovski was at the peak of his powers. He went to war with Dustin Poirier in what's already being called a Fight of the Year candidate.
Congrats again, brother. Congrats, Khabib. Yes, no. Very, very good. Good guy. Good friend. You as well, man. You guys get home safe. Congrats, man. You guys are the best.
He dismantled rising star Renato Moicano, making a statement against one of the division's hottest new threats. Makhachev has already been through hell. He's survived the worst-case scenarios, the bloodbaths, the pressure cookers, and every time he's emerged with his hand raised. His experience is elite. We're talking about the kind of battle-tested mindset that only a handful of fighters in MMA history can claim.
I will say yes, because I training last 3 months for the fight, not just for one opponent, for the fight. no matter who is gonna be. That's why for me it's okay.
He's outboxed top-tier strikers. He submitted some of the best jiu-jitsu wizards in UFC history. He dominated fighters who were considered untouchable just months earlier. So, what's his secret? Adaptability. Unlike most fighters who train for a specific opponent, Islam trains to become a better version of himself every single day. His already world-class skills keep evolving. He doesn't chase styles, he builds his own. Ilia Topuria, he's good, very good. But when the cage door closes, he may come face to face with something he's never seen before. An opponent who's stronger, smarter, and more experienced, and nearly impossible to prepare for. Islam Makhachev could very well be that immovable wall, the one obstacle Topuria simply can't get past. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, see you later, fight fans.